Hey guys, it's Gamer Ahmer here. So today I wanted to recap my trip to Too Many Games. So this is a video game convention in Pennsylvania, and this took place June 24th to June 26th of this year. So you can actually order one of those 3-day passes, but I decided to only go one day as I felt like that would be enough to experience a little bit of everything at this convention. So let's go ahead and check out a recap plus all of the amazing items that I scored. So of course, I missed Friday and I did not go Sunday to this video game convention. Usually if you go there on Friday, you kind of get first dibs at every item that is at all of the different booths and tables and everything else. Now, the line was insanely long on Saturday and there was such a huge turnout. So that day was definitely jam-packed and I ran into a lot of my buddies and friends from YouTube. So that was definitely pretty cool. And then of course Sunday is usually the day where things are wrapping up. It's coming to an end. That's probably the better day to go and try and make deals if the items are still there. So Saturday I figured was kind of a middle ground and I was so thrilled to go there. I got there a little bit early. Of course you have to wait in this ginormous line, and if you had the special 3-day pass and you already had your badge, you could just go in that side, that line. So that one was not nearly as long as the one for just Saturday only folks and those who were kind of more so going Saturday and Sunday. So it was definitely a blast from the start and it was a long day. Of course there was a bunch of walking, so tons of breaks were definitely necessary as it can be a little bit too much for those who may struggle as it was just so much kind of walking. So of course when you first go in there you see this gigantic room off to your left, and that's kind of where like the hallway is. So you just go to your left and there's this huge room full of video games. You have all of these tabletop kind of consoles with TVs. You have a bunch of competitions and everything else, playing tons of games across various systems. So that's pretty neat. And then of course you could go ahead and dive deep into the arcade area. You just see a mix of a little bit of every type of game. Of course they had Dance Dance Revolution, they had all kinds of sit-down arcade cabinets, they had tons of the old school, the old style classic games like Mario Brothers, Donkey Kong, they had tons of light gun machines, they had tons of fighting games. So I thought that that was really cool to see just a mix of different arcades. Really cool that they kind of set those where you can actually have a free-for-all and play whichever games, whichever classics that you want. So you can always take a break in that room and just enjoy everything. They of course have a little panel area where they have different people go up and you can listen to their panels. They even have this other huge room off to the side for some of the larger guests, some of the larger panels, and then of course they even had a concert at the end, which it was just a lot going on. So I did not stay the entire time. I only stayed for a little while, just enough to kind of go shopping, catch up on everything, and of course I scored a holy grail item on the way home, but that's for a later video. So of course as you're walking around the main room, which they had 2 of them open, you'll notice that they had all of the vendors, the artists, the game booths, everything else just kind of in this one area, and then they had open their larger room. So as opposed to previous years where they did not have everything open, this was a lot more room, a lot more people, and it was definitely a blast kind of going through and having some division where you have all of the autographs, the special guests, the wrestling arena where they have crazy wrestling matches going on, more areas where you could play some upgraded gameplay, some more specialty games, competitions, things like that. They had that on that side along with the food court, so you can get tons of drinks and just hydrate yourself, tons of food. Definitely a blast. I ran into some of my buddies there, so of course I saw Russ Lyman and David Apuzzo. I even saw Jen from JLove81. Definitely had a blast seeing everyone there, and even my buddy Marcus from Video Game Votary. So I thought it was really neat to just kind of run into some people. Of course you see all of the bigger YouTubers as well, some of the voice actors, some of the kind of celebrities and everything else. So I definitely had to hit the other side where I got a special autographed item. So this is one of my all-time favorite games, one of my all-time favorite franchises. So of course right here I had to get this art print. I had to stop by and see Daniel Pesina. So of course he said, "To Brandy, finish him," in the classic Mortal Kombat character styles. We have his autograph. It says Master Daniel Pesina is Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Of course many others as well. So it has this really cool little stamp on there as well, this sticker kind of imprinted. So of course I'll have to get this art print framed up, as I love Scorpion, I love Sub-Zero, I love Reptile, I even love Johnny Cage. I just had a blast. I did get a photograph with him. Of course I was wearing the brass knuckles as we were kind of posing as these classic characters would have. So I thought that that was really cool that some of these celebrities, voice actors, and everything else kind of take their time. Of course you have to pay for these autographs, pay for the photos, but it was definitely worth it, and it really helps that experience. Then of course, as you're kind of going around, and there are too many games there, you'll see that there are other things, just like some really cool artist works and everything else. So something that I saw right away was this right here. This is actually really cool, this little plaque. So it's this wood little display piece. Of course it has some nails on here, and this really cool color design with these little works of this kind of yarn style, this string. So of course this is the Nintendo 64 logo. Figured that this would go classic in the game room. And then of course right here, Walnuts. Definitely had to get their information. I'll drop all of the information below if you're excited to check out this. They make tons of these, larger sizes, smaller sizes. They had some really cool Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones. They had Mortal Kombat logo. They had Sega, Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, literally a little bit of everything. And some classic toys and figure lines, even G.I. Joe. So this was my first pickup. Was not game related, but this was actually really cool. Pretty excited. If you don't have a huge amount of wall space, hopefully I should be able to put this somewhere in the game room or get it up on a display shelf next to my Nintendo 64 stuff. So this is definitely pretty cool. Then of course some more artwork, as they had tons of stuff. They had stuff for the walls, stuff for shelves. They had these really cool shadow boxes that I definitely wanted. They just had so much cool stuff. Coasters, drinks. They had plushies. They had art prints. They had pins, enamel pins. So they had pretty much everything. Then I saw this art print right here. So this is actually really cool. Once again, these smaller sizes really help, as I don't have a whole lot of wall space. So this is Sonic the Hedgehog. So I thought that this was really cool. Kind of bright, colorful, this little vibrant style. Definitely a cool little touch on it. And then along with that, I had to get this as well. So some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I had to get them. Classic characters right here, all 4 of them. So I thought that these were really cool. And they're in these really cool kind of frames as well. So I usually just put the command strips on the back. So I thought that these was really cool. And these were on the table as well. So here we have some more cards. And of course, everywhere you go, everyone has their own business card. They have tons of these little pamphlets, these guidebooks that have all of the different sponsors and kind of an overview, the schedule, so that when you first get in there, if you're looking for anything in particular, you just kind of follow that. And of course, you get all of these different ones as well, talking about some of the different scavenger hunts and events, some different style games. So pretty much anything that you could possibly think of is there. They even had Monster energy drinks there, handing out Monster energy drinks to kind of help fuel you throughout the entire convention. So it's definitely pretty cool. And then of course I stumbled into trying to find some cool things for my game room, for my upstairs room as well. So this little vintage tabletop style game, thought that this was pretty cool. This was only a few dollars. So this is the talking play-by-play football game, and it has the Bears and the Rhinos. Thought that this one was pretty neat. It said 1987 on it. I'm just a classic collector of these kind of tabletop, these handheld variants. I like the old Coleco style. I like the kind of Tiger Electronics handheld style. Definitely had to score this. And then I saw this at the same booth, so I thought that this was pretty cool. Kind of like this Talk Boy vibe. This is Voice Man, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You just record, you play back, rewind, fast forward, stop, and then of course you could change some of the different settings on here. So I thought that this was pretty cool. Whether it works or not, I thought it was a neat little shelf piece for my ever so growing Power Rangers collection. So this little Mighty Morphin Power Rangers emblem, this little logo on here. Thought that this was pretty cool. And shockingly, I did not actually pick up any games. Going into this convention, I really wanted to limit what I was going after. I really wanted to find some sort of display items, wanted to get some promotional items, some cool little display, shelf fillers. So probably my favorite pickup would actually be this box right here. So this I actually saw at a booth that I've been to before at the last Too Many Games. So make sure you guys check out some of those other videos, as last time I scored some amazing games, some toys, and some really cool display and promotional items across a variety of different videos that I did. So this right here was actually really cool. This was the only open display piece that he actually had on Saturday, and he has tons more banners, posters, promotional items, clothing, really cool like little pre-order bonus items, employee items. So I'll definitely have to meet up with him in the future, as I scored some awesome stuff last time. And this right here, so this is a Nintendo shipping box for the Game Boy Advance era, and what's inside of here is actually really cool. So this one, I'm so thrilled because it has the little styrofoam and everything else in here. This right here is a really cool display piece. So this is like a mini version of a standee. This is the counter standee. So this little counter display item, we have this Mario Golf Advance Tour for the Game Boy Advance. This right here is on this little spring, so it looks like the ball is just kind of going. So I really like the background and this kind of shiny silver effect to it. We have this back right here, kind of shows you more, so you have some more characters, golf, and a whole lot more. So this game is actually really cool. Even looks like it has this really cool kind of like turf style, kind of how a golf course would be. You have this little like foam pieces on here. Does have just some minor wear and tear on it, but overall this thing is in pretty decent shape, and looks like it'll probably stick pretty well now, just because it was in the hot car. Probably kind of came undone a little bit. So this is so cool. I'm so excited to add this one to my game collection, have it in the game room, and with just some minor imperfections on here. Definitely scored it for a great deal. Came with the original Nintendo shipping box. This is so cool. I just love these little displays kind of from this era, kind of from the GameCube and Wii era. So these are definitely pretty sweet, and overall I'm just thrilled. He even threw in a couple extra items too. So he threw in some of these promotional stickers. We have this right here for Donkey Kong Country Returns. It's on like Donkey Kong. You have this bright yellow colored sticker. You even have these right here. This is a little magnet set for the Nintendo DSi. What will you and I do? So this is me on Nintendo DSi. It has some of the options, pictures, kind of connecting, talking, shopping, everything else that you could have done back in the day. Just another little promotional style item. So this was definitely a fun convention. Definitely had a blast. Wish I could have stayed a lot longer, but it is a lot on someone. So I was definitely glad that I went for the one day, just so I could get a feel of everything, see everyone, say hi to everyone, and hopefully next year I'll be able to kind of hang out a little bit longer, stay a little bit longer. But one of the reasons why I had to quickly book it out of there is I had a once-in-a-lifetime score. So I scored an amazing display piece on the way home from a contact of mine, and I really can't wait to share that video, as this is a holy grail item, one of the craziest pickups that I have ever got, and I just can't believe it. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that video, and let me know about everything that I scored here. I know it's a complete mess, but did you like this really cool display piece here, this Game Boy Advance era kind of display piece, this Mario right here? Did you like this with the original Nintendo shipping box? Did you like all of this other promotional stuff? Some Power Ranger items, some little handhelds, all of these art prints and everything else, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Sonic the Hedgehog, or this really cool display art right here, Nintendo 64. We have the string, these walnuts as they call them, or even meeting right here and getting this signed. What do you guys think about this convention? Just let me know in the comments below. And of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out my other videos and stay tuned for more.